Naruto, Reborn Prodigy, Master of all Ninjutsu. Episode 31. It can be seen that this thing is all pink, wearing a small dark red vest and a purple pearl necklace around its neck. What's more, the pink thing is a pig. Isn't this the guinea pig who has been following Tsunade? You can't go wrong. After all, there are not many pigs wearing clothes and necklaces, and besides, it is still a ninja pig. After hitting Naruto, he tried to escape, but Naruto grabbed the necklace of the guinea and lifted it up. Even if you're Tsunade's ninja pig, it's too much to go on such a rampage. Porpoise, porpoise. The guinea pig kept struggling his limbs and wanted to escape, but Naruto's strength was great, and it was not at all that the guinea could break free. Restrained by a little fart on the back of the neck, the guinea pig said that he was very unhappy, so it opened its mouth and bit Naruto's hand directly. The teeth of the little thing were quite neat, but the bite on Naruto's hand did not hurt at all. However, Naruto was not half polite. He directly reached out to grab the porpoise's ears, and he was ready to teach the guinea a lesson. Before Naruto could make a move, a figure suddenly appeared. Sorry, it's my pet pig. Just now it was a little out of control, so it was a bit on a rampage. I'm really sorry. I saw that the figure was a girl, and I saw her short black hair and delicate facial features. Judging from physiognomy, she belonged to the gentle and quiet type. The girl was dressed in a black mid-length robe, wrapped in a gray bandage around her waist, a wide neckline that revealed a fishnet lining, fair skin revealed through the nets and hair, and a pair of black block heels under her feet. Naruto recognized at a glance, the girl was Shizune, and her teacher was none other than the famous Konoha-sen Shinobi Tsunade. Feeling apologetic, Shizune stood in front of Naruto with an apologetic look and clasped his hands together to apologize to Naruto. The guinea pig struggled even more, because he saw the silence. Shizune looked at the guinea with some distress, but there was something wrong with the guinea in this matter. She had to make a worried look, and then apologized to Naruto. I'm so sorry. That one. I hope you don't hurt the guinea. In fact, it is usually very cute. Sister Shizune, it was this pig that hit me. You don't need to apologize. Shizune couldn't help but be stunned, looking at Naruto, his face looking extremely surprised. You. How do you know what my name is? Sister Shizune is so beautiful. I know that your name is not normal. Shizune was praised by Naruto and blushed slightly. Although she has been practicing outside for many years, her own personality is a quiet type, and she will be somewhat shy. You passed the prize, and you're actually fine. That one. Guinea pig. She wanted to go back to the guinea. Naruto changed his other hand and directly clamped the guinea between his hand and waist, unable to break free no matter how much the guinea struggled. It's okay if you want me to return this pig, but this pig bit me just now. Does Sister Shizune have to compensate me? Upon hearing that the guinea pig actually bit Naruto, Shizune apologized again. Of course. I'm so sorry. In fact, guinea pigs are not usually like this. I don't know how I can compensate you so that you can forgive us. Or don't you mute sister and invite me to dinner. By the way, take me to meet Tsunade's mother-in-law. You've been following Tsunade's mother-in-law, and since you're here, she must be nearby, right? After meeting Shizune, Naruto was thinking about going to meet Tsunade for a while, but according to some inertia, he involuntarily called Tsunade his mother-in-law. That's probably right. In fact, Naruto didn't expect to meet Tsunade so soon. According to the original book, it should be after Orochimaru went to Konoha village to make a big fuss, and Tsunade appeared, at least after Jiraiya appeared. But now, he met Uyatea first, and soon he would meet Tsunade again. It's a good feeling, at least not by the so-called fate. However, when Shizune heard Naruto's mouth mention Tsunade's mother-in-law, she was not surprised, but wary. Although Tsunade was once one of the legendary 3 shinobi of Konoha, Tsunade had taken her away from Konoha more than 10 years ago, and had not appeared in the ninja world for a long time. But the boy in front of him not only knew his name, but also Tsunade's name. No matter what, Shizune had to be vigilant. And Naruto grabbed the guinea pig and asked her to take it to Tsunade, which must be strange. Although Naruto looked like a ghost and didn't seem to be a threat, who could guarantee that he wasn't a secret ninja sent by some ninja village and wanted to spy on Tsunade-sama's intelligence or have some conspiracy against Tsunade-sama? Thinking of this, Shizune forgot to care about the guinea pig and directly questioned Naruto. What the hell are you? Why do you want to meet Tsunade-sama? Naruto saw Shizune's alertness, and he just said with a relaxed look, don't worry, I'm not a bad person, it's just that I have prophecy, so when I see you, I know who you are, and I know that you have always followed Tsunade's mother-in-law. Episode 32. Of course, Naruto saying that prophecy was a complete lie, and as a Traverse Crowd plus Hokage fan, could he not know Shizune and Tsunade? It's just that this kind of thing, Naruto won't reveal it. Listening to Naruto's explanation, Shizune didn't believe it at all. She didn't believe that there was prophecy in the world. You're lying to me. Muzune is not an interrogative sentence, but an affirmative sentence. Naruto couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The people of the Hokage world are really not easy to deceive. After a pause, Naruto said again, Tsunade's mother-in-law should be in some gambling house now, right? And Tsunade's mother-in-law will lose every time she gambles, but she still gambles everywhere. and she still owes a debt for this. And in order to avoid debts, she even has to use transformation to change her appearance. I'm right. As soon as these words came out, Muzan was completely stunned. If it was a secret forbearance, it was not strange to know the existence of Tsunade-sama. It was strange that Naruto even knew such a secret thing as Tsunade-sama changing his appearance in order to avoid debts. For Tsunade, one of the three shinobi, it is certainly not a glorious thing to owe a debt. After all, Tsunade's true enemy would never know how much gambling debt she owed, let alone how she dodged gambling debts. Generally, only people who are particularly familiar with Tsunade will know about these hobbies, such as Shizen himself. But Shizen swore that she had never said anything about Tsunade to anyone else. At this time, Shizen was a little convinced. Could it be that this little ghost in front of him really had prophecy? You look so young, can it be that you really know how to prophecy? Of course. Do you want me to help you calculate who your future husband will be? Shizen listened, and for a moment she was a little expectant, but immediately returned to her normal expression. You. What are you talking about? It's not impossible for me to show you to Tsunade-sama, but you have to make sure you don't mess around. Of course, besides, Sister Jingin, I'm so young, I can't mess around if I want to, can't I? Shizen glanced at Naruto a few times, and she nodded. She thought Naruto was saying that Naruto looked really young and shouldn't have an accident. The main thing is that Shizen can't judge Naruto's situation, so she decides to take Naruto to see Tsunade. Maybe Tsunade-sama can see this little ghost. After deciding, Shizen said, okay then. You give me back the guinea, and I'll take you to Tsunade-sama now. Naruto was very cheerful and returned the guinea pig directly. When the guinea pig fell into Shizen's arms, he even looked at Naruto defiantly, looking like he was going to fight with Naruto. Naruto did not show weakness. Don't look, be careful I roast you, you are so tender, it must be delicious. The guinea pig understood Naruto's words and immediately shrunk into Shizen's arms, looking scared. Shizen hurriedly soothed the guinea. It's okay, with me, no one can roast you. Naruto just smiled. Porpoise, tell me where Tsunade-sama is now. Tsunade gambled day and night, and now he didn't know where to run to the city, and it was not easy to find her. However, with the guinea pig, things are much simpler. After all, the guinea pig's sense of smell is invincible. The dolphin made a sound of dolphin, dolphin, and it jumped off Shizen. Ah. Tsunade-sama really went to the gambling house again. Shizen understood the meaning of the guinea pig, which indicated that Tsunade was in some gambling house. Although I know that this is a habit that Tsunade can't change, muting is still a headache. She kept up with the guinea pig while reminding Naruto, if you want to see Tsunade-sama, keep up. Naruto quickly followed, and finally, the two of them came to a gambling house. Porpoise, porpoise. The guinea pig looked at the sign of the gambling house and made such a sound. Shizen looked helpless. Tsunade-sama is inside. As soon as the words fell, I saw a commotion heard in the gambling room, and soon a very familiar woman's figure ran out from inside. He had blonde hair and a gray blouse underneath, dark blue pants underneath, and black high heels at his feet. Delicate facial features, fair and delicate skin, and delicate makeup also painted, making her face look more beautiful. A purple diamond-shaped mark can be seen on the forehead, and the crystal pendant on the neck is also very eye-catching. But the main thing is to set off. No way, the capital that the blonde woman in front of her has is too strong. Anyone who looks at the past for the first time, their eyes will unconsciously be attracted by her focus. The blonde woman was Tsunade, the three shinobi of Konoha's legend, and Naruto met her for the first time. Looking at each other so closely, it was impossible to see that this woman was 50 years old. Tsunade ran hurriedly, looking a little difficult. Mute? Guinea pig? How could you guys be here? Hurry up and get out of the way. Don't stand there. Tsunade looked anxious, and at the same time, a group of large men with various weapons behind Tsunade chased behind her. Want to run if you lose money? Not so easy. Or pay it back. Or keep people. Episode 33. Tsunade rolled his eyes wide, tilted his head, and shouted at the group of big men. You guys are too stingy. I said, I'll return it to you later. Take my word for it. The thugs of these gambling houses don't know if they believe it or not. Anyway, Shizen definitely doesn't believe what Tsunade-sama says. After all, Tsunade-sama has always been embarrassed when it comes to gambling. Tsunade-sama. How much did you lose again this time? Silent asked in horror. Where Tsunade had time to chat with Shizen, she ran over and reached out and hugged Shizen and the guinea pig on the ground. Tsunade, who has infinite strength, really lives up to his name. Shizen is an adult, but he was easily carried up. Don't say it. Hurry up and run. Otherwise, it will be beaten into meat sauce. Who would have thought that this person who was dodging the chase was one of the three ninjas? Although Tsunade can take them all out by force, Tsunade is an honest gambler. She gambles and loses money, belongs to the unreasonable side. She will not make a move, let alone face a group of ordinary people. Seeing that Tsunade was about to run away with silence, Naruto came faintly. Mother-in-law Tsunade, don't rush to go. Originally, Tsunade did not put the little ghost next to Shizen in his eyes at all, and in order to avoid gambling debts, the first thing he did was to escape. Who expected that someone would call her Tsunade's mother-in-law? Mother-in-law Tsunade, these people are not your opponents, you don't need to run at all, do you? Tsunade couldn't hear the following words, she only heard a mother-in-law. That's right. This little devil actually called himself mother-in-law? Tsunade stopped running, directly put Shizune and the guinea pig down, and immediately grabbed Naruto by the collar. You little devil. What did you call me? Naruto and Tsunade, the two have a clear height gap, and Tsunade's movement is bent over. Looking up at the past, Naruto's angle can just see the most beautiful scenery, and it is really strong. At this time, Naruto looked at Tsunade and said with a smile, I call you Tsunade mother-in-law. Tsunade's temper had completely ignited, and she yelled at Naruto, you stinky little devil. Did you know that a woman's age is taboo? Besides, which of your eyes sees that I have reached my mother-in-law's age? I can't see it, but Tsunade's mother-in-law is already 50 years old, and I'm only 12, isn't it normal to call you mother-in-law? Tsunade literally wanted to tear Naruto off on the spot. She hates getting old the most, so she uses ninjutsu to keep herself young. Who expected that this little devil would actually call himself mother-in-law? This is not the end, he still knows his age. Can't help it, she turned her head and glanced sideways at Shizune. She thought that move told the little ghost in front of her. After all, this little ghost came with Shizune. Shizune saw Tsunade's eyes and knew that Tsunade-sama had misunderstood, so she quickly walked up and said to Tsunade cautiously, Tsunade-sama, your name and age are not what I told him, he has prophecy. Tsunade looked incredulous, are you a fool for me? Just this little devil can prophesy? I don't believe it. While Naruto and Tsunade were entangled, the people of the gambling house had already surrounded the three of them and one pig. Humph. Can't run away now, right? I advise you that this woman hurry up and pay back the money. It's okay if you don't pay back, it's not bad for the three of you to stay and pay for meat. Ha ha ha. That pig must taste good when cooked. Naruto, as one of the three, said that he was helpless, he was still a child, how could he be compensated? But he hadn't had a seizure yet, and Tsunade was upset. At this time everyone was standing in an empty courtyard, the ground was clean and tidy cement, and I saw Tsunade directly raise his leg and smash heavily on the floor. You'd better not provoke me, or be careful that I kill you. In an instant, a deep pit appeared in the floor. It is said that it is a deep pit, but this is far from Tsunade's full strength. If she really uses her full strength, I am afraid that this street will be destroyed. And this group of guys dared to say the word meat compensation to her Tsunade. Tsunade would not remain calm, and he had to give them a warning. Naruto couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. Could it be that Tsunade became angry and wanted to kill all these people? If Tsunade really wants to kill him, it will be absolutely easy. The group of thugs surrounding the field never expected Tsunade to have such terrifying strength. They realized that Tsunade was obviously not an ordinary person. But it was also a fact that Tsunade owed them money. The group looked at each other, wanting to find Tsunade and ask for money, but they did not dare to really step forward. Tsunade's face looked a little proud. It seemed that these guys had been scared. Now was a good time to run. At this moment, a voice came from behind the crowd, and the voice was very cold. Humph. It turns out that there is still some skill. However, it is natural to owe money to pay off debts. Soon, a figure wearing a dark gray kimono appeared. He had a beard on his face and was a middle-aged man. The middle-aged man crossed his hands and looked at Tsunade with a condescending look. Episode 34. Boss. A group of thugs saw the middle-aged man appear, and their momentum suddenly perked up. They believed that the boss came forward and would definitely be able to kill these people. The middle-aged man is the boss of the gambling house and is also a ninja. Today, no matter what, you have to pay it back, the middle-aged man said as his hands began to form, and he was ready to use illusion on the three of Tsunade to deter the three well. When he finished the seal, he saw hundreds of middle-aged men suddenly appear on the left and right sides of the courtyard, and at a glance he saw a piece of black oppression. However, Naruto, Tsunade, and Shizune did not react at all. You know, Tsunade is one of the three shinobi, Shizune is Konoha's upper shinobi, and Naruto has mastered Ikkyo. Like this low-level illusion, the three of them could see through it at a glance. Tsunade had a smug and even slightly underwhelmed expression on her face, and she hummed, "It's impossible for me to pay back. The only thing you can do is let me go." It's really arrogant. This was Naruto's idea. Tsunade's big words made everyone in the gambling house look extremely angry, and they were also surprised. It was clear that their old ambassador had a powerful ninjutsu. Why did these three people not seem to be afraid at all? The middle-aged man exclaimed, "You guys. Aren't you afraid? Afraid? Such a low-level illusion. Want me to be afraid? You are 100 years early." Hearing this, the middle-aged man couldn't help but feel a little frightened. It turned out that Tsunade had completely seen through his illusion, which showed that her strength was stronger than herself. Who the hell is she? Tsunade smiled. You know you're afraid? If you know that you are afraid, quickly give way. Although Tsunade said with a hint of threat, the middle-aged man had no intention of stopping. He looked serious. Even if your strength is stronger than mine, what if? If you owe money, you have to pay it back. Otherwise, he wants to leave. Tsunade only felt helpless. Do these people have to entangle themselves? She can't really do it, after all, she belongs to the party that owes the debt, and she really loses money. After thinking about it, she decided to forcibly leave. Anyway, this gang can't keep her, no matter how much. Tsunade was about to leave, and at this time, Naruto took a step forward. How much does mother-in-law Tsunade owe you? I can help Tsunade's mother-in-law return. Being called mother-in-law by Naruto again, which made Tsunade very unhappy, she directly glanced at Naruto. Do you know how much I owe? Just say you want to help me pay me back? You little bunny is really ignorant. When the gambling boss heard Naruto say such things, he only thought that Naruto was playing tricks on them. After all, Naruto was a little ghost and had the ability to pay back. Little ghost. She owes us 1,000,000 taels. Do you think you can afford it? Hearing this number, Naruto was not surprised at all. After all, Tsunade, nicknamed Fat Sheep, is really too common to lose 1,000,000. It's true that there is no money now, but aren't you a gambling house? I have money to gamble. If I win 1,000,000 taels, can't I pay back Tsunade's mother-in-law? Tsunade looked at Naruto like an idiot, and she said coldly, Little ghost, what do you think you are? Winning 1,000,000 is not a simple thing. She will lose every bet, let alone win 1,000,000. Even if she wins 100 fast, it is impossible. But Naruto looked confident. Anyway, you owe money and can't leave. I have money on me, and I won't lose money if you continue to gamble, right? Naruto's words made Shizune look confused, and she said urgently, Hey! You're still a kid. Don't learn from Tsunade-sama, okay? There is no future in gambling. If you don't try, how do you know that there is no money? Tsunade touched his chin and couldn't help laughing. I think you have a point. Why don't you give me your money? I'll bet. Hearing that Naruto had money, at this moment, Tsunade became addicted to gambling again. However, Naruto decisively refused. Forget it. Tsunade mother-in-law, in case you win, maybe something bad will happen. When Naruto said this, Tsunade was stunned for a moment. Everyone knew she was going to lose every bet, but no one knew that once she won money, bad things would happen. She never said that to anyone, but how did this imp know? Looking at Tsunade's stunned look, Naruto went straight to the gambling house. You can also wait outside, I won't lend you money anyway. Shizune pulled Naruto. Hey! Don't mess around. This kind of place is not for children like you to enter. We can't leave anyway, unless Tsunade's mother-in-law intends to use force to get these people down. Tsunade suddenly frowned. Although she was intercepted by someone, she knew very well that she would not really do it. She had not used force against people for a long time. It's just, then shook her head. She couldn't help but smile. I'll see if you kid can win. Episode 35. At this point, Tsunade didn't know Naruto's name yet. However, when Naruto laughed, it inexplicably made her feel like a trance, as if it made her remember something. Moreover, the two obviously don't know each other, but this little ghost took the initiative to pay off his debt. No matter how he said it, he couldn't leave this little ghost alone. If she still loses by then, it's a big deal to run away with this little devil with Shizune. Anyway, the people inside will definitely not be able to stop her. The gambling house boss immediately laughed. Little ghost, you want to bet that I won't stop you. But if you lose, then the three of you will have to stay in the gambling house to pay off the debt. No problem, Naruto agreed. So, the people of the gambling house gave up their positions, and Naruto walked into the gambling house with a confident look. Before starting, Naruto glanced at Tsunade. Mother-in-law Tsunade, if I lose, then this money will have to be counted on your head. Tsunade looked upset. Why should the money you lost be counted on my head? Don't go too far, you little devil, Naruto said with a serious face. After all, if I win, this money will help you pay off your gambling debts. If you don't want to, then forget it. Naruto gestured to leave, but was pulled by Tsunade, and she said with a smile, just kidding. If I lose, count me on my head. I will definitely not regret it. Anyway, she already owes so much, but she doesn't mind owing more. At this point, Naruto began to give it a go. An hour later, Naruto and the other three walked out of the gambling room. Tsunade stood between Naruto and Shizune, with a smile on his face and a happy look. Shizune holding the guinea pig, also very happy. I really didn't expect Naruto-kun to win. Not only did he help Tsunade-sama pay off his debts, but he also won 1,000,000. Tsunade shook his head. Although it's not my gamble, it's so refreshing to see their stunned expressions. Little ghost, you are very powerful, Tsunade said while patting Naruto on the shoulder. The strength of this product is not small, which makes Naruto look helpless. Tsunade mother-in-law, your hands are a little lighter, I'm still a child. Only then did Tsunade restrain his strength and couldn't help but apologize. Sorry, so happy, forgot for a while. After winning so much money, do you want to find a place to have a drink later? Muzan was very helpless on the side. Tsunade-sama, this money was won by Naruto-kun, not you. What's the difference? We're all in the same together, don't be too stingy. While several people were talking, a group of people in the gambling house rushed out again and surrounded the three of them. Tsunade was stunned and looked at everyone and asked, are you going to see us off? No need, we have already felt your hospitality, we will just go by ourselves. At this time, the boss of the gambling house looked very ugly. No one has ever won 2,000,000 taels in their gambling house, and he is still a little fart child, he can't bear it. Want to run when you win money? Not so easy. The guys didn't seem to be going to let Naruto out of here. But Tsunade is not a vegetarian, she directly stood up and threatened. You'd better give me a little acquaintance, or I'm not sure I'll do anything. At first, she lost and was embarrassed to do it. But now it's different, she's the winner. These people still want to get in trouble? She wouldn't agree. Humph. I want to see what you can do. The gambling house boss also looked angry. I thought I could get 1,000,000 taels back, but I didn't expect that not only did I not get it back, but I even lost 1,000,000 taels. He really can't tolerate it. So these 3 people must all be left behind, especially this woman with particularly strong capital. Listening to the words of the gambling house boss, Tsunade's smiling face immediately became serious. At this time, a group of gambling thugs directly attacked in the direction of Tsunade with their weapons. But before they could get closer, Tsunade suddenly disappeared in front of everyone. When everyone was stunned, I saw a shadow shuttling between everyone extremely quickly. When Tsunade returned to his original position, everyone, including the gambling boss, fell to the ground, and he couldn't stop wailing. Tsunade crossed his waist with one hand, looking haughty. Just because of you, you still want to stop me? It's too naive. While speaking, the mood was happy, and finally there was a reason to teach these guys who won her money a lesson. Naruto glanced at Tsunade, and then at the people lying on the ground, and couldn't help but mourn in his heart. Why did these people have to provoke Tsunade? These nameless people, in any case, cannot be Tsunade's opponents. Of course, in those few strokes just now, Tsunade did not use her true ability. Shizen looked at these fallen people. His face was very indifferent, without any expression. After all, it was not Tsunade-sama who was wrong this time, but they were too obsessed, so it was no wonder Tsunade-sama made a move. Episode 36. Swept away a bunch of small minions. Tsunade clapped her hands, crouched down, grabbed Naruto, and buried Naruto directly into her strengths. This touch, well, Naruto didn't know how to describe it. You kid is really amazing. Actually won 1,000,000 taels. To reward you, I invite you to drink. In fact, Naruto can win so much this time, even if he used a little cheating. He has a strong perception, and he can sense the movement of every side of the dice in the gambling house with his ears. So, it's so easy for him to want to win. Hearing Tsunade say that he wanted to invite him to drink, Naruto had a speechless expression. I'm not yet an adult. Although his soul is already an adult, it is better to pretend to be a minor in front of Tsunade. It doesn't matter if you are underage, I am an adult, you can watch me drink. You can eat next to me. Naruto's face was full of black lines. Tsunade mother-in-law, do you have money to invite me to dinner? Of course you pay. You won 1,000,000 taels. You don't take it for granted to pay? Naruto was speechless again. This Tsunade really is. But more importantly, he pushed the Tsunade. Mother-in-law Tsunade, I'm about to be killed by you. Suffocated, hurry up and let go of me. Tsunade only found out at this time that she had been holding Naruto without letting go, and rubbed him into her strengths. Ah, sorry. Let's go. Eat and go. Tsunade got up, his face full of spring light. The money is not won by her, so nothing bad will happen. Later, you can go to drink and eat again. This day is really wonderful. Looking at Tsunade's happy look, Naruto was thinking about how to deal with Tsunade. He can invite Tsunade to eat and drink, but he will definitely have to make Tsunade pay a price. After all, he also helped Tsunade pay back 1,000,000. He will not be a good old man. Otherwise he will easily be issued a good guy card. For 3 days, we went to a high-end hotel. The decoration inside was very luxurious, much more advanced than the place Naruto took Yuya before, but there were also many fewer people inside. After all, it is a high-end restaurant, and there are not many people who can afford to consume. It seems that Tsunade is going to slaughter Naruto fiercely. Before I walked in, I saw Tsunade looking at the hotel sign with a happy face. Oops, the stuff in this shop must be delicious. The wine must have been nice too. Naruto couldn't help but complain. It looks expensive, of course it's fragrant. Shizen looked a little embarrassed on the side, and she quickly pulled Tsuna's hand and said, Tsunade-sama, let's change the family. The consumption of this one is not low. We are so rich now. We are afraid that we can't afford to eat things here. Tsunade had a natural expression on his face and grabbed Naruto's shoulder directly. Let's not get drunk or return later. Naruto was speechless. I'm still a minor. Isn't it not good for you to instigate me to drink? Tsunade laughed. What are you afraid of? With me, you can do whatever you want. While saying, he directly pulled Naruto in. After finding a decent position to sit down, Tsunade unceremoniously ordered a lot of dishes, and how expensive it was. The wine ordered was not cheap at all. Shizen was anxious on the side, and couldn't stop reminding Tsunade. Tsunade-sama, there are 3 of us, you have a little less, you can't finish eating. Tsunade did not stop his hand to continue ordering. What does it matter? Today we are happy, of course, we need to eat more. Naruto, what do you like to eat? Hurry up and add. Naruto just shook his head. Feel free, I'm still a kid, I can't eat much. This made Tsunade very happy. This time there is Naruto's, big money please eat. A good meal should be eaten, life is to have fun and time. Although the money is not hers, but the money Naruto won because of her, it can be considered her money. And this time to win money, don't worry that something bad will happen, and there is money to spend, it's simply not too beautiful. The last large table of dishes is served, and each of these markets is full of color and aroma, which is worthy of being a high-end restaurant. Due to the temptation of the food, Shizun forgot to complain about Tsunade, and she lived with Tsunade for many years to gamble money and avoid debts, and she had not eaten so much delicious food for a long time. Tsunade poured a glass of wine directly and took a sip, followed by a look of satisfaction. Ah! The taste of money is simply delicious. The wine here is so delicious. Looking at Tsunade so happy, Naruto shook his head. Where does this woman look like one of the legendary 3 shinobi? Naruto ate very quietly, but Tsunade took out a cup and poured Naruto a glass of wine directly. Come on. So happy today. You accompany me for a drink too. It's the same with silence. Naruto directly refused. Forget it, I don't like drinking very much. Of course, he doesn't really like alcohol, it's just that drinking is easy to make mistakes, so it's better to stay sober. Tsunade didn't force Naruto for Naruto's sake. She poured Shizun another glass. He doesn't drink. You have to drink. Episode 37. Without waiting for Shizun to take the wine glass, Tsunade gave another cup of guinea porpoise who was eating. Guinea porpoise. You have a drink too. Come, I'll feed you. Seeing this, Shizun quickly took the guinea pig into his arms and immediately shouted, Tsunade-sama, don't make trouble. How can a guinea pig drink? Why can't you drink? What's wrong with accompanying me? Tsunade-sama, you need to drink and drink yourself. Don't grab us together. These two masters and apprentices play with each other, and this is how they get along. As a pig that is often implicated, the guinea dolphin is very helpless, it just wants to eat quietly. In the end, Tsunade did not succeed, and in desperation, he had to drink alone. Hey, you boring guys, what's wrong with letting you drink with me? After speaking, he directly raised his head and poured all the wine in the cup into his stomach. Yay! This wine is so delicious. After drinking a drink, Tsunade poured himself another glass. After drinking slightly, Tsunade was a little quieter. However, she seemed to have become interested in Naruto, who ate quietly. Reaching out and hugging Naruto, who was sitting next to him, he asked with a slight drunkenness, by the way, what's your full name? Where are you from? Now that you know who I am, you're a ninja too. Tsunade voiced all his doubts. At this time, Shizun also immediately looked at Naruto. She was also very interested in Naruto's identity. He looks like a teenager, but knowing Tsunade and his identity is really curious. Naruto raised the teacup in his hand and took a sip in his hand. I'm from Konoha village, like Tsunade's mother-in-law. I just became a shinobi some time ago. As for my full name, my surname is Uzumaki. When Naruto said this, Tsunade smiled. What a coincidence, you turned out to be a ninja from Konoha village too. But you don't know my name? Yes. I didn't hear clearly, what's your full name? Naruto Uzumaki. Oh. Uzumaki Naruto, Uzumaki. After repeating it, Tsunade seemed to wake up instantly, and his originally smiling expression suddenly became serious and serious. She looked at Naruto with wide eyes, as if she couldn't believe her ears. What did you just say your name was? Naruto looked serious. Uzumaki Naruto. After speaking, he did not forget to ridicule Tsunade. Is Tsunade's mother-in-law too old? Do you want me to introduce myself 3 times? Of course, it's not because Tsunade is old, it's because the little ghost in front of him turned out to be surnamed Uzumaki. That is, he is the son of that person. At this time, looking at Naruto again, I realized that he and that person really looked alike. After the shock, she took a sip of wine to suppress the shock. Naruto knew why Tsunade was so excited. Obviously, Tsunade knew his identity, knew that he was the son of the 4th generation, and knew that he was the 9-tailed man, Yuri. That's why she acted so surprised. However, Shizun seemed very puzzled. She did not understand Naruto's background, and the guinea pig on the side was still eating quietly. After calming his mood for a while, Tsunade looked at Naruto and continued to ask, pretending to be calm. Since you are a ninja in Konoha, shouldn't you stay in Konoha at this time to practice with your new teacher and companions? Why are you here alone? Naruto thought about it, and explained Naruto's original tragic fate. I didn't have parents, I grew up living alone, I had no friends, no relatives, and in order to attract the attention of the rest of the village, I started to be mischievous, so everyone paid attention to me, but they also hated me more. So I didn't want to stay in that place any longer, I wanted to go out and walk, and when I came out, I realized that the outside world was much more comfortable than in Konoha village. At least no one would roll their eyes at me. Although Naruto said it in a more relaxed tone, Tsunade couldn't help but feel a slight when he heard it. After all, Naruto was just a child. Every time I say I'm going to be a Hokage, everyone treats me as a joke, and no one believes I can do it. After all, I am just a crane tail in their eyes. As soon as these words came out, Tsunade's heart seemed to be poked by something. Become a Hokage. Her younger brother also wants to be Hokage. At this time, Naruto grinned, but now it seems that it is simply stupid to treat Hokage as a dream. After all, there are still many things to do in this world, and it is not necessary to become a Hokage. He does not have the lofty ambitions of the original body. Becoming a Hokage means a huge responsibility to inherit Konoha's will, and Naruto doesn't have that idea today. While Naruto was thinking about it, the atmosphere suddenly became condensed, and Tsunade seemed to be lost in thought. After a long time, Tsunade whispered, "No, the dream of becoming a Hokage is not stupid at all." It was addressed to Naruto, as well as to her brother, although her brother would never hear it. Episode 38. Naruto glanced at Tsunade and did not speak. Seeing Tsunade's expression a little lost, Shizune was a little worried, and even the guinea stopped eating. Although Tsunade-sama's heartless look was very helpless, Shizune didn't want to see Tsunade's expression. She knew that Tsunade must have remembered something again. After a long time, Tsunade took a sip of wine. At this time, she looked at Naruto and said with a hint of joking, "Since you've all left Konoha, why don't you follow me in the future?" Naruto was stunned, obviously not expecting Tsunade to say such a thing. Without waiting for Naruto to speak, Tsunade directly reached out and rubbed Naruto's hair. "If you are willing to follow me, I will take good care of you. I will definitely not let you be wronged. Who dares to laugh at your stupid dreams? I will definitely beat the other party away." When she said this, she seemed to get some kind of comfort in her heart, rubbing Naruto's hair as if facing her own brother Ropetree. Naruto didn't say yes, but instead said, "Mother-in-law Tsunade, you owe so much debt. Won't I be implicated if I follow you? I was a child and couldn't bear so much suffering." Speaking of the debt, Tsunade was embarrassed all of a sudden. This was indeed a problem. She was on the run for many years. She laughed dryly twice. "Defensible. What is a debt? It's still more than enough to raise you a little fart child." Ha ha ha. Seeing her smile so humbly, Naruto knew that Tsunade must have owed a lot of money outside. So Naruto asked like a little adult, "How much does Tsunade's mother-in-law owe outside?" "Didn't owe much money. I bet twice, and I got it back." "It's easy, Tsunade-sama, you've already signed a lot of tails outside. And lose every bet. There's no way to get it back," Shizune shouted from the sidelines. Naruto looked at Tsunade with a look of a joke. "Do you still take care of me if you owe a debt? Tsunade-in-law, are you sure you're not kidding me?" After being revealed, Tsunade yelled at Shizune in dissatisfaction. "Mute. What nonsense are you talking about? When did I owe 10 million tails?" Saying that he actually wanted to teach Shizune, Shizune quickly hugged the guinea and shouted, "I'm not talking nonsense. Because of Tsunade-sama. We need to run around. So Tsunade-sama, it's time for you to converge too." Tsunade got up directly, put one foot on the table, and stretched out his fist. "I see your hardened wings. Dare to say that about me." Watching the two fighting, Naruto smiled. "Although you owe a debt, my gambling luck is obviously much better than yours. If I follow you in the future, I can help you gamble, and by the way, help you pay off all the gambling debts. Tsunade is also one of the 3 shinobi, and it will definitely not hurt to follow her. It's just to pay back the money." It's still quite simple for Naruto. After coming to this world, buy a lotto and win the jackpot, go to the gambling house to win more one-sidedly. At least money is not a problem. Naruto's words froze Tsunade, and the hand waving towards Shizune also stopped. "Are you really willing to follow me?" "Of course, Tsunade's mother-in-law is so powerful. Of course I am willing to follow you." However, Tsunade was an adult with a lot of experience, and Naruto's little adult-like tone made her feel a hint of danger. She squinted slightly at Naruto. "Are you going to negotiate terms with me?" Tsunade's mother-in-law is really smart. Tsunade didn't have an immediate seizure, but a serious inquiry. "Say, what are the conditions? What conditions can be put forward for this little fart child?" Naruto smiled and said, "As long as mother-in-law Tsunade teaches me medical ninjutsu, I will help mother-in-law Tsunade pay off all the debts." Tsunade's hand holding the wine glass froze in midair. As a medical ninja, Tsunade certainly knows the importance of medical ninjutsu. However, most ninjas do not think about learning medical ninjutsu, especially bloody children. Children of Naruto's age pursue strength, and naturally combat ninjutsu attracts their attention more. But Naruto wanted to learn medical ninjutsu? Tsunade stared at Naruto. "You want to learn medical ninjutsu?" "Why?" "Because I think medical ninjutsu is more interesting. If you or Sister Shizune are injured in the future, I can still help you treat it, can't I?" Tsunade laughed at this time. "Don't tease, Shizune and I are not so easily injured. If we are really injured, it is not a little devil like you that can be treated well. Medical ninjutsu is much more difficult than combat ninjutsu." Naruto disagreed. "As long as Tsunade's mother-in-law is willing to teach me, I believe I can learn well, and I think I still have talent." Tsunade put the wine glass down in his hand and pointed at Naruto's heart. "Little ghost, medical ninjutsu is not something that can be learned with talent. The learning process will be much more boring than learning combat ninjutsu. Are you sure you can stick to it?" "Of course. As long as I want to do something, I will definitely stick to it. Episode 39. Naruto was certainly not joking, he meant it. Looking at Naruto's sincere look, Tsunade seemed to see the rope tree who was equally serious, and Tsunade's heart softened again. Taking a deep look at Naruto, he saw her leaning back. It's okay if you want me to teach you medical ninjutsu, but you at least have to worship a teacher first, right? Worship? How to worship a teacher. Tsunade looked at the wine on the table and handed Naruto the full glass of wine. You drink this glass of wine and call me a teacher, even if the worship is successful. So simple? Of course, I'm not that particular about it. How? Naruto didn't answer at all, directly took the wine glass, and drank all the wine into his stomach. In fact, Naruto's amount of alcohol is not bad, but he doesn't like to drink it very much, but if he has to drink it, he won't mind. After drinking a full glass of wine, Naruto exclaimed generously, "Tsunade-sensei." The smile had a bit of a boyish air in it, and Tsunade couldn't take his eyes off it. Naruto and Rope were really very similar. The two were about the same age, and their expressions of laughter were almost identical. Probably because of the slight drunkenness, Tsunade's heart became exceptionally soft at this time. She took Naruto directly into her arms, and for a moment, Naruto only felt that he was a little breathless. But Tsunade didn't know it at all, but instead hugged Naruto a little tighter. Oops. After muting, there will be a junior brother. You two should get along well in the future. Dolphin too, take good care of Naruto, he is your lovely junior brother. Shizune also seemed very happy about this. Tsunade-sama, I will definitely take good care of Naruto-kun. After all, Tsunade would never take good care of Naruto. She can't even take care of herself, how can she take care of others? However, the guinea didn't seem to be happy at all. After all, Naruto was the guy who once wanted to beat him. Porpoise, porpoise. It made such a sound, with a somewhat unhappy expression, as if to express protest. Naruto complained, Tsunade mother-in-law, do you pay a little attention, don't you know your own capital? Holding me like this, I was really going to suffocate. Tsunade didn't care at all. Holding Naruto with one hand was not finished, and he hugged Naruto fiercely with the other. Now that you are my lovely apprentice, what's wrong with hugging you? Of course, Naruto wouldn't mind Tsunade holding himself like this. After all, Tsunade is indeed very resilient. In addition, there is a faint fragrance on the body, which is probably a unique taste for women. In addition, Tsunade is a medical ninja who uses ninjutsu to maintain her youth because she does not like to grow old, and she looks like a 20-year-old girl. With abundant capital and incomparable beauty, it can be said that Tsunade is definitely an extremely perfect woman. Tsunade held Naruto for a while before letting go of him and pouring Naruto another glass of wine. Your amount of alcohol seems to be very good, come, accompany the master to have another drink. Before Naruto could reach for it, the silent on the side reminded, Tsunade-sama. Naruto is still a child. Don't force him to drink. What do you mean I forced him to drink? Now that he is my apprentice, what's wrong with letting him accompany me for some drinking? Isn't it because Naruto-kun is now Tsunade-sama's apprentice, so it is necessary to take more care of him? How can he be allowed to drink? Naruto-kun had already drunk a lot just now. I have to say that Shizune is indeed a girl who likes to think about others very much, and it is clear that she and Naruto have not known each other for a long time. But knowing Naruto's identity background, plus Naruto is now his junior brother, she cares about Naruto extraordinarily. However, she was not Tsunade's opponent after all. Plus Naruto also thought that today was a good day, and drinking some alcohol was nothing. So Naruto, persuaded by Tsunade, drank glass after glass of wine. This is not the end, Naruto is drinking here. Tsunade turned his head to drink silently again. In desperation, Shizune had to drink with the two. Even the guinea pig is not immune. That night, 3 people plus a pig did not know when and how much they drank. I only knew that the next morning, Naruto woke up in a room and found himself lying alone on his left and right. The guinea pig, on the other hand, lies on its own body. The people on the left and right are, of course, Tsunade and Shizune. At this time, the two were holding themselves, completely treating him as if he were a child. Tsunade drank a lot yesterday, Shizune was also poured a lot of alcohol, and now he is lying there in a bit of a trance. Naruto was the first to wake up. He wanted to get up, but the guinea guy looked small, but he was quite heavy. He directly reached out and shoved the guinea pig. Why do you all sleep in the same bed? After speaking, he also looked at a bed next door in the room. Episode 40. Naruto's voice woke Tsunade up, and she opened her eyes in a daze, and then saw Naruto. The first time, she asked, "What are you?" Naruto's face was full of black lines. Tsunade mother-in-law, just after one night, you forgot about me? As soon as he finished saying this, Tsunade flicked directly on Naruto's forehead. You little bunny. How did you talk to your master? You even dare to call me mother-in-law? Naruto only felt a pain in his forehead. Tsunade deserves to be Tsunade, and the movements are too violent. Naruto rubbed his forehead and complained directly. Mother-in-law Tsunade, I'm your apprentice now, can I start lighter? If I kill, how else can I learn medical ninjutsu? I said it all. Don't call me mother-in-law. Believe it or not, I'll tear you by hand right now. Naruto rolled his eyes, and finally did not continue to entangle with Tsunade. Gotta go, I won't call you mother-in-law in the future, but you remove your legs from me first. I'm still a child, I can't bear your weight. Tsunade blushed and moved his smooth thighs away from Naruto without a heartbeat, and yawned again. I drank too much yesterday, and now my head hurts. Shizuki, who had been sleeping well, was woken up by the bickering of Naruto and Tsunade. She rubbed her eyes and said with a confused look, "Why did you wake up so early?" "Not. My head hurts, porpoise. Yesterday, I also drank a lot of guinea pigs, and also said that my head hurts." Naruto glanced at Shizune who was lying beside him, and said, "Sister Shizune, although you are very beautiful, can you take away your hand that is inside my clothes?" "That's right." Shizune's hand didn't know how, and directly reached into Naruto's clothes. Naruto was wearing a traditional kimono, so it was very easy to tuck something in. Only then did Shizune feel the temperature coming from his palm, blinked, and looked at Naruto again. Seeing that Shizune still didn't let go of his hand, Naruto continued to tease, "Sister Shizune, if you want to have something with me, I don't mind. After all, I am now your junior brother, serving senior sister. It is natural and righteous." Naruto's words made Shizune's face flush with a blush. She quickly removed her hand and immediately jumped out of bed. "Yes, I'm sorry. I drank a little too much last night, so I got a little carried away. I'm really sorry." Shizune is sincerely apologizing, but Tsunade, as a third person, is ridiculing. "Shizune, I can't see that you are this kind of person. Usually look at you quite well behaved." Unexpectedly hit the idea of the little junior brother in private. "Don't forget, your junior brother is still a child, you told me that yesterday." Because Naruto was still young, Shizune kept saying that Naruto was a child, and even stopped Tsunade from letting Naruto drink, who expected that yesterday he drank too much, and he also made such a gaffe, it was simply a shame. Shizune quickly explained, "Tsunade-sama. How can you say that? If it weren't for the fact that Tsunade-sama forced us to drink yesterday, it won't be the same today." Tsunade didn't care, she put on her shoes. If you're hungry, let's eat breakfast first." Her words eased the embarrassment a little, and she was so embarrassed that she didn't even dare to look into Naruto's eyes. What a shame. Naruto is still a child. While hugging the still sleeping guinea, she only heard the sound of dolphin, porpoise, and the silent figure gradually faded away. Naruto let out a big yawn and followed. After all, without him, Tsunade and Shizune probably didn't even have the money to eat breakfast. The three people and a pig went downstairs to eat breakfast, which was still hearty. And after eating breakfast, the three people were already much more sober. After that, the three of them went upstairs together. Originally, 2 rooms were opened. Naruto had 1 room alone, while Shizune and Tsunade were 1 room. But I drank too much last night, so all 3 slept in Naruto's room. After breakfast, everyone should be separated. However, Tsunade and Shizune entered Naruto's room anyway. This made Naruto a little puzzled. This big day, is master and senior sister planning to do something to me? Naruto's words made Tsunade's face covered with black lines, and he reached out again and flicked Naruto's forehead hard. "You little ghost, you are not young. Why do you always say such things? This little bastard seems to have all the thoughts in his head," Tsunade thought as he pulled out a scroll. Immediately after, bang, after a puff of smoke, a large stack of books on medical knowledge appeared in the scroll. Naruto was still rubbing his forehead, and Tsunade threw a large stack of medical books directly on Naruto's bed. "These are the foundations of medical ninjutsu. If you keep these in your head, I will teach you medical ninjutsu."